From News Channel 15, you're watching News Channel 15 Tonight with Kyle Peach. This is News Channel 15 Tonight.
Hi, good evening and welcome into News Channel 15. I'm Eli Grimes. Hope you had a great 4th of July weekend. Let's take a look at tonight's news. Our first story, WFIW reports 2 people have been sentenced to prison time this week. Reports say 54-year-old Mount Vernon, Illinois resident Tyrone Alexander has been sentenced to 24 years in prison on a felony retail theft charge. Alexander received the maximum 6-year prison term on each of those 4 retail theft cases, with the judge ruling the time was to be served consecutively. Jefferson County Assistant State Attorney Brian Merrill handled the contested sentencing hearing. 21-year-old Armani Moore out of Centralia, Illinois, has been sentenced to 18 months in prison after pleading guilty to a domestic battery charge. Moore was charged with the felony offense after being accused of tackling and pushing a family member to the ground back on May 12th. The charge was a felony due to a previous domestic battery conviction. Moore will have to serve 4 years mandatory supervised release, with a charge of aggravated battery being dropped in return for that guilty plea. WSJD reports Michael Jerome Wright, age 45, and Courtney Lashea Young, 36, of Princeton, Indiana, have been sentenced to 12 and 2 years in federal prison, respectively, for their roles in a mail theft scheme. Wright pleaded guilty to mail theft, unlawful possession of a mail key, access device fraud, aggravated identity theft, possession of ammunition by a felon, and possession of a machine gun. Young pleaded guilty to mail theft and possession of firearm by a felon. Both will serve 3 years of supervised release following their prison sentence. According to court documents, back in 2023, law enforcement officials began receiving numerous complaints about mail theft and check forgery. And in March and April of 2024, the Evansville Police Department officers surveilled local United States Postal Service collection boxes. On 6 different occasions, investigators saw Wright open collection boxes with an arrow key around 4:30 in the morning, sort through that mail, then drive off with the stolen mail. On at least 2 of those occasions, investigators saw Young behind the wheel of the getaway car. The USPS uses a unique type of lock known as an arrow lock to secure collection boxes, lockers, and apartment mailbox panels. These locks can only be opened with an arrow key. It is a crime for anyone not authorized by the Postal Service to knowingly have or use arrow keys. On April 3rd of 2023, law enforcement officers stopped the pair just as they drove away from another mail theft. Officers searched the vehicle and uncovered an arrow key and stolen mail on the passenger floorboard. Investigators conducted a court-authorized search of Wright and Young's apartment in Princeton and located hundreds of checks and their corresponding envelopes, many of which had been previously reported as stolen. The stolen checks had a total face value of $1,857,460.91. Investigators also found 2 handguns under the mattress in Wright and Young's bedroom. On Wright's side of the bed was a partially 3D printed, privately made firearm with no serial number. This type of weapon is commonly referred to as a ghost gun because it has no records related to its manufacture or sale. Investigators also recovered 2 30-round extended magazines. The ghost gun had a machine gun conversion device, also called a Glock switch, installed, allowing it to fire as a fully automatic weapon. Glock switches are themselves considered machine guns under federal law, whether they are installed in a firearm or not. On Young's side of the bed was a Ruger pistol. Wright has sustained multiple felony convictions, including murder, dealing in a synthetic drug, operating a vehicle as a habitual traffic violator, and operating a vehicle while intoxicated. Young has sustained a felony conviction for fraud. These prior felony convictions prohibit Wright and Young from ever legally possessing a firearm or ammunition. Also in the bedroom of that apartment, law enforcement found 2 backpacks. In Wright's backpack, investigators found 30 debit and credit cards bearing the names of other individuals. as well as a piece of notebook paper that had the names, dates of birth, and social security numbers for 3 other individuals written on it. The U.S. Secret Service Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives, the Federal Bureau of Investigation, the U.S. Postal Inspection Service, and the Evansville Police Department investigated this case. Those sentences were imposed by U.S. District Judge Matthew P. Brookman. In other news, Wayne County Crimestoppers is asking for the public's help in identifying the individual or individuals responsible for recent acts of vandalism involving fireworks and mailboxes. Over the weekend, 3 separate reports were made regarding fireworks being placed inside of mailboxes, causing damage to property and destruction of mail. Crimestoppers is now offering a cash reward for information leading to the arrest of the person or persons involved. Anyone with information is urged to call or text Crimestoppers at 618-842-9777. All tips may remain anonymous and could lead to a monetary reward. Residents are reminded that tampering with mail and mailboxes is a federal offense. WSJD reports the Wabash County Sheriff's Office is actively seeking the public's help in locating Donald Scott Baird, a 54-year-old white male approximately 6 feet tall, weighing 210 pounds, with brown hair and blue eyes. Baird is known to have lived at 327 North Cherry Street in Mount Carmel, Illinois. Baird was resentenced on May 12th of this year to 5 years in the Illinois Department of Corrections and was ordered to report to the Wabash County Jail by noon on May 14th of this year. He did fail to turn himself in and is now wanted by law enforcement. On May 15th of 2025, a no-bond arrest warrant was issued for Baird out of Wabash County. Baird is now considered a fugitive from justice and has a history of fleeing from law enforcement. A $500 cash reward is being offered by Wabash County Crimestoppers for information that leads directly to Baird's arrest. Anyone with information on the whereabouts of Donald Scott Baird is urged to contact Wabash County Crimestoppers at 618-262-HALT 4258. Tips can also be submitted anonymously through the Wabash County Sheriff app, available for free download on both Apple and Android devices. Do not attempt to apprehend Baird. If you see him, contact law enforcement immediately. In other news, the Fairfield City Council will meet on Tuesday, July 8th, tomorrow at 6 p.m. at City Hall. A public hearing will be held at 5:50 p.m. prior to the meeting to open bids for the sale of property along Southwest 10th Street and to review the fiscal year 25-26 appropriations. Following the opening prayer, Pledge of Allegiance, and roll call, the council will review and vote to approve the minutes from the June 10th meeting and the executive session minutes from April 8th, along with the latest city bills. Key items on the agenda include the approval of the fiscal year 25-26 appropriations ordinance covering May 1st of this year to April 30th of 2026, the ordinance to award the bid for the sale of property along Southwest 10th Street, the leachate disposal agreement with Wayne County Landfill Incorporated, the business district resolution with Nicole Simpson doing business as Farmer's Daughter, amended business district resolution with Rita Matthews on behalf of Classic Pizza and Pasta Restaurant. Also in key items on the agenda, the resolution to release executive session minutes, the resolution to authorize destruction of audio recordings from closed session meetings, the resolution for an Ameren utility easement, and the resolution to appropriate MFT motor fuel tax funds for South First Road general maintenance. Also, the resolution approving a street closing for the Fairfield Fall Fun Fest. Street closing request from the First Baptist Church for its upcoming Vacation Bible School. Residents are encouraged to attend and provide input during the public comments section. That does it for news. Stick around, I've got your weather forecast coming up next, and then a look at MLB scores in sports. Stay with us.
At Wabash General Hospital Senior Enrichment Center, we believe that sometimes a helping hand is all it takes for seniors to get their lives back on track. Our dedicated team of healthcare professionals are here to offer guidance and support, helping navigate the unique health and lifestyle concerns faced by seniors. Whether dealing with feelings of anxiety, loneliness, or unresolved grief, struggling with changes in mood or concentration, or coping with health-related challenges, we're here for you. Call Wabash General Hospital Senior Enrichment Center at 618-263-9116.
Get employee pricing at Steve Faulkner Automotive. Get a new 2025 Jeep Wrangler with payments as low as $390 per month and a 2025 Jeep Compass as low as $369 a month. Come in today or go to SteveFaulknerAutomotive.com.
Steve Faulkner Automotive in Mount Carmel, Illinois has an outstanding service department. With free pickup and delivery, we'll make sure your vehicle runs perfectly at an affordable price. Come see us today or view our service specials at SteveFaulknerAutomotive.com.
Welcome back. Let's talk your weather forecast. We had a great 4th of July weekend, weather-wise, sunny conditions, but now some rain moving through our area. This taken just after 9 a.m. this morning. We saw those showers move through our area just up until about noon. That was taken, and we will move forward into your almanac for today. 87 the high, 72 the low, just at 0.2 of an inch of rain. Your normals and records are there on the screen. Let's put your forecast map in motion. This taken just from 1 p.m. this afternoon. Those hit or miss shower chances moved through our area throughout all of today. Tuesday is a bit of a respite from the rain until the later hours on Tuesday night is when those shower chances return at about 8 to 9 p.m. in our area. Those showers move through the region, and again, the rain moves throughout our area. Throughout the week, hit or miss chances, that remains the story. Lows Tuesday morning, mostly in the high 60 range, 70 in Mount Carmel, McLeansboro, and Carmi. Moving into Tuesday, mostly in the high 80 range, except for Mount Carmel, McLeansboro, and Carmi at 90 degrees. Lows on Wednesday morning, mostly in that low 70 mark for pretty much all of our viewing area. On Wednesday, the highs in that mid to high 80s range, 86 in Fairfield, Albion, and Mount Carmel at 87 degrees. Let's move into your extended forecast for the week. Mostly in the high 80 range for the highs, with the exception of Friday, the hot one, 92 degrees. And as you can see, shower and thunderstorm chances likely throughout most of the week. Hit or miss, though, is the outlook for the chances of showers and thunderstorms. Your lows mostly in the low 70 range. And again, those highs in the high 80s and 92 on Friday. That's a look at your forecast. MLB Scores is up next in sports. Stay with us.
Life doesn't slow down for busy families. From early practices to late night games, every moment matters. That's why First National Bank offers online tools to fit into your schedule no matter how hectic it gets. From mobile banking to quick check deposits, First National Bank makes it easy to keep up with life and stay on top of your finances. No matter the schedule, First National Bank keeps you in the game.
Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Have your weather radio, have a flashlight with batteries in it, make sure your cell phone's charged, know where you're going to go when bad weather hits. Go to the lowest interior room in your house and wait the storm out. After the storm, if your power's out or if there's any kind of dangerous situation or anything like that, call Mount Carmel Public Utility Company. As you go outside to survey the damage a little bit, just make sure to stay away from down power lines.
Welcome back. Time to talk MLB scores from over the 4th of July weekend. The Chicago Cubs shut out the St. Louis Cardinals 11-0 on Sunday. The Milwaukee Brewers beat the Miami Marlins 3-1. The Cincinnati Reds lost to the Phillies by a score of 3-1 as well. And the Pittsburgh Pirates fell to the Seattle Mariners 1-0. The Cubs still lead the NL Central at 54-36, followed by Milwaukee at a record of 50-40. St. Louis follows them at 48-43, Cincinnati behind at 46-44, and Pittsburgh brings up the pack at a record of 38-53 on the year. That does it for sports and our newscast tonight. Thanks so much for tuning in. From myself, Eli Grimes, as well as everyone here at News Channel 15, have yourself a great night.